Hello again, everybody. 25th of February 2025. And I'm downtown in Minsk again, as usual. And this time I'm not too far from the Galleria shopping mall. If you saw a video recently by, I think, Scottish guy in Moscow, maybe he still is in Minsk, and he walked through the shopping mall. And I was doing my little thing through some shopping malls. I thought I would. A lot of people don't like shopping malls. I was doing that for, people that might. There was some time I saw something and said, oh, there's nowhere to shop. There's no shopping in Minsk. The problem is it's way too much. There's way too many shopping malls. And of course, a lot of them have the same shops. But if you go to there's a strange, these other malls, and they have smaller things in there, smaller, what do you call it? Chain outlets or something. So it's not the usual Gloria jeans and same companies that are all over. I also wanted to show this area. This normally in like summertime there's like flower beds and things like that here. All that, as you see, it's still winter and there's nothing like that. I was actually going to show this for Angie, who's I guess in landscaping sort of thing, and thought she might like that. This goes all the way over to a different area over there. If you see in the background, you see that big tall tower. That is the Museum for the Great Patriotic War. I'm not sure exactly anymore how much you pay to get in there. You have to pay, but you can spend many hours in there walking around, and they show some weapons and some airplanes inside and all that. There's even an airplane on the outside, and it's an American airplane, and it was given to the lent to the Soviet Union in the Lend-Lease program. And I mentioned that in one of the last videos, and I think Putin just recently paid that off. So, in other words, when there is loans to Russia, they pay off the loans. And at a time right now when you're hearing about Zelensky, and he got all what's literally a few $100 billion from the United States, and he says, oh, it was a grant, I don't have to pay it back. And then he said, oh, at maximum it will be 90,000. And Trump is, of course, saying it's 350. What did he say? He's 90 billion. High numbers, beyond my comprehension. And Trump is saying 350 billion, which definitely is a lot closer to the real number. And Trump wants 500 billion out of it, I guess. But of course, that's how how Trump deals. He says something, and that's normally to throw it out there and throw the person off balance, and then basically then Trump uses leverage, and then it goes into a discussion, and then the agreement will be made for maybe 110,000 or something. So, as you know, but Trump isn't doing that to Russia. I think Russia has come up with some set goals of what they want in this, during this Ukraine thing, and Russia kept telling the West, Biden specifically, don't do this, just like Jeffrey Sachs. I put up that video, and Jeffrey Sachs was even saying to the West, don't do it. But they wanted a war with Russia. Well, I wouldn't say they actually wanted a war. They wanted to be able to push Russia around. They wanted to push Russia and think maybe Russia's going to back down and that the West takes Ukraine. And it would be one of the last countries that they take and throw into NATO. But Russia kept saying, we're not going to tolerate that right on our border. And I don't know. It turned out that it was a war. And Russia had put troops there, and they said, we're not playing around. And, Joe Biden, senile type of guy, and Tony Blinken, I guess if he was handling Joe Biden, he wouldn't take the responsibility for it. It would be Joe Biden, senile old guy, and maybe at some point in time they'd say, well, he's senile, well, you have to excuse him for being completely and utterly stupid, when it's actually maybe Tony Blinken, knowing that he could get away with it. That's a theory from a lot of people. And let me start going into what I was actually going to talk about today. I was, how do I say, what's the word, gratified that there was something that Putin put out, and it was something that I mentioned maybe twice in the videos, at least one time, and I was saying that it's possible. I was just saying it's possible. I was guessing, because apparently a lot of time the mindset of a lot of these leaders better than maybe even a lot of other people that are predicting on what's going to happen or could happen. And I had a prediction, and not even all of the Russian experts came up with this. It's like, so I was out there on my own, and I But I just threw it out and I said it's very possible that Vladimir Putin is going to maybe try to strike a deal with Trump for these minerals and have a joint venture. And maybe in Ukraine, maybe even in Russia. I was not thinking necessarily Russia, I was thinking in Ukraine. But now Putin has actually floated that idea, said, well, maybe a joint venture with the United States for these minerals. A lot of the time, Russia's not really using these minerals. I guess they have a good amount of lithium within Russia itself. There's probably supposed to be even more in Ukraine. And Russia doesn't really use it. I think they don't have any facilities to what do you call it, develop this lithium for use in batteries. So maybe, I don't even know if they're selling it to other countries, but they're buying what lithium they need. They're getting it from elsewhere, Russia, and maybe not the United States. So I don't know if Trump has ever said anything yet about that. He's got his hands full at the moment. Macron is there, Emmanuel Macron, and a lot of people are saying that Trump humiliated him by not greeting him personally, instead sent some sort of a White House protocol person or whatever, and been greeted. But I don't know, because they looked like they were kind of buddies, patting each other on the knees, and they didn't do the fist bump or nothing like that. But anyway, over there in the Oval Office, and then they said, oh, well, look at Trump made him sit next to the Resolute desk or whatever that thing is called there, and I don't know. You'd just be guessing to say that there was anything involved in that. This bank here, Belveb, at the moment, I don't know how it is in the United States, but like if you want to save money or not, but I think it's got a decent rate right now. I think maybe it's just for people that are members of that bank. I'm not sure, but you put your money in for 1 year, and I think there's a minimum amount, but it's less than $1,000 US, believe it or not. You can put in maybe, I don't know, what is it in US? Let me think, maybe 700 something US dollars, and you put it in and you leave it in for 1 year, and your interest you gather is 16%.
Салам алейкум.
Huh? Huh?
Вы откуда?
США.
А?
США.
США?
Yeah.
Первый раз вижу американца.
Да.
Первый раз вижу американца.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Да, что-то вы на рыжего похож, с бровами с такими, как у рыжего.
Я говорю немного русский. Чуть,
Мало-мало.
Я мало-мало.
А где в Америке?
Нужно медленно.
Надо говорить медленно.
Медленно.
Тогда вы понимаете.
Да.
Чуть-чуть понимаете.
Да.
А я English.
Нет.
Да, английский нет.
Okay.
И что вам нравится? Привет американцам. Здоровья, счастья, любви.
Okay.
И привет Трампу.
Oh, yeah. Trump good. Хорошо, да?
Трамп good.
Yeah.
Илон Маск good.
Да. Я думаю,
Good.
Лукашенко тоже good.
Лукашенко good.
Yeah, да.
Только долго.
Yeah, okay.
26 лет уже Лукашенко. Это не демократично.
Ja, es ist жизнь Беларусь прima.
Да.
Очень хорошо.
Да, нормально.
Нет криминалитет, нет
Нету. Наркоманов нету.
Yes, cool.
А когда
Yeah.
раньше, когда Союз развалился, было очень плохо в Беларуси. Тогда все связи были порваны. Вот, тяжело.
Это лучше, чем Европа.
Да?
Запад.
Нравится? А в Америке где вы живете?
Америка тоже нет. Хорошо. Много людей живут в
Западной. Нищий.
Jörgleben and Straßen with
Курс, да.
drugs.
Балдеют.
Yeah. Криминалитет ist много.
Криминал, не, у нас криминал мало.
Yeah.
Не, у нас...
Я тоже. Здесь криминал мало.
Ну вот я говорю, у нас криминал мало почти.
Сейчас много криминалитета.
Да.
Политика. The worst.
А где вы живете в Америку? Где? Не поймете?
Я живу в Минске.
Вы живете в Минске?
Да.
Давно?
Я и моя жена купила
Квартиру?
Квартиру, да.
Квартиру
Да,
купил? И вы переехали
Да.
сюда?
Раньше я живу в Карибский инсул.
Куба?
Нет, Куба, Сент-Винсент, рядом Барбадос.
Барбадос?
Я
Барбадос?
фермер, кофе фермер.
Кофе растили?
Раньше,
Раньше.
сейчас нет.
А здесь что делаете?
Кофе, очень прямо кофе.
А здесь что вы делаете?
А?
Здесь вы работаете?
Нет, сейчас я изучал русский язык.
А сколько, как вы здесь живете, сколько времени прошло?
Э,
Год, 2, 3 год.
Один
Один год?
Я
маленько.
изучаю один год. Я живу сейчас 3 года.
3 года.
Нет, Минска. Раньше Барановичи.
Барановичи.
Минск 2 года.
Минске 2 года. Год в Барановичи,
1 год.
и 2 года здесь.
Я. Окей.
Окей.
Новости. Я. Окей. Спасибо.
Салама. Давай.
Спасибо.
Будь здоров.
Yeah, that's wrong. Especially the. Okay. So, okay, now, what was I talking about here? Okay, friendly guy. Did I mention the joint venture? Yeah, Alex Jones. What was he said? I was just saying, like a lot of time. Luckily, I've said like 3 or 4 things, and that I've been right on, and all. I'm Alex Jones. Now, Alex Jones, he said a lot of stuff, and he was some things that were almost difficult to believe, and he was always right. Not always, most of the time. And Scott Ritter, I'm not trying to brag or nothing, like, when I get things right, but I have been in other times, and it's strange, you say something and not even the best Russian commentators saw it coming or got it right. And I don't know. I'm just saying luckily I can hear these footsteps, somebody with some hard shoes. So anyway, my bragging session is over. So I said a few other things too. What were they recently? Sometimes I match things. Like I said something, and there was this discussion with Scott Ritter and I think Ray McGovern, and I had said something about Trump being. I said in the cold, and did I say the cold? Yeah, and for like 4 years and blah blah, and then the commentator said almost the identical thing, but he said I think in the wilderness. But that Trump was thinking and planning and getting to know people and all that in his time out of the Oval Office, and then he came back, he was ready, and it looks like he's not messing around now, taking no prisoners. So let's see what else we got here. Just gotta slow down before I can read my stuff here. Yes, Macron is there. I didn't hear if Starmer is there yet, but Starmer is supposed to go there too. And you see that they're kind of playing around, and they want somehow to start a war going, and you think of what is the goal of a lot of these people? What was Biden's goal and the West's goal? They want a defeat of Russia. And strangely enough, Trump is not really interested in that. Trump is out to hopefully make good business and dominate in that way, a fair way, without killing a bunch of people. I think he's very, very honest when he's saying that he doesn't want a lot of killing. And some of these people, they're trying to manipulate Trump and put a situation in front of him where people will get killed, sending a bunch of troops there and all that. And I think Trump has made it clear. He said, well, if you want to do something against Russia, then you do it on your own, but I'm not going to send any people there. So I don't think even Trump is going to help them. They want air power or air cover, and they want the heavy lifting. With the, even as Scott Ritter said, the logistics. They want to use American logistics because most of Europe does not have that capacity anymore. So I don't think Trump is going to even play around with that. And Zelensky, what did he say yesterday? He came out and he was saying that he still wants to drag, he wants to drag Putin in front of a criminal court, and he's stating that Putin invaded unprovoked. And it's really strange because when Zelensky was running for office, he knew fully well that it wasn't that way. He was talking to these Nazis and things like, why do you want to be bothering these? I think maybe he might have been talking about the people in the Donbass or whatever. But, I don't know. He's not really so, he might not be the brightest bulb in the store, but in the shop. But I tell you what, he's not stupid. And he's playing everybody. He's playing the whole world. And he wants everybody to continue on with this thing. And there's his agents, as if Putin just got up one morning and wanted to invade. And everybody seems to ignore the fact that Ukraine was bombing the Donbass for 8 years and killed 13,000 people before Putin actually reacted to that. And he was reacting because they were pushing even harder to put Ukraine in NATO. And they had also sent a lot more troops much closer to the border and getting ready to invade the Donbass. And I think, and Putin says his biggest regret is he didn't act earlier. But, these people, and of course they're still bombing places in Russia using drones, of course, and Russia's luckily been able to shoot most of them down, at least according to the news that we get. So you don't really know how many, except for civilians, maybe you don't know how many Russian troops have actually become casualties. So that's strange too. Okay, I got to keep going. I don't have that much time. I wrote down here that makes you wonder if Zelensky actually even believes his own lies. Have you ever seen that movie Castaway with Tom Hanks? And he finds this little plastic ball, and I think he was a big manager for FedEx, and a plane crashed, a FedEx plane. He's stranded on this island. He lived, and he takes this little plastic ball with some garbage, maybe floating around, somehow got onto the island, and he takes a magic marker and puts a smiley face on it and gives it a name and kind of chuckles a little bit. And by the time he's been on that island for a while, he actually really believes that that's a person, that ball. And he was, I think when he was trying to leave the island, somehow maybe on a raft or whatever, and the ball got washed off of his raft into the water, and he started screaming like it was his best friend, that this ball, and, oh, Mr. So-and-so, or whatever he named it, the ball. So it's very possible that Zelensky, he actually maybe believes his own lies by now, but he's a master con man, and Trump has actually alluded to that. He says he's a great salesman and all that. In a sense, what he's saying is that, because Zelensky can go around everywhere, every time he gets on a plane and goes anywhere, he comes home with billions of dollars. And the whole truth about the matter is he can sell ice to Eskimos. And there was a big thing, and then Dave put it on his site on what really happened. No, that's another site I wrote to. But on From the Other Side, at least on his chat, he was putting a lot of information, and I didn't really know about this. It was this James O'Keefe who used to have Project Veritas, and he used to have hidden, he still does it. He has like hidden cameras, and he catches people, high people that know what's going on, politicians and whatnot, and he records them admitting to like stealing money and crimes and things like that. Well, I guess he recorded, who did he record here? Let's see. I've forgotten who it is. It was a Pentagon official. And I guess it's in the office of Mark Milley, I believe, or maybe, no, I think it's who was just fired. And it's because of this video mostly, or what James O'Keefe did. It was this guy, James O'Keefe was filming a guy, and they were talking about overthrowing Donald Trump. And this guy was very close to the head office. So it turns out, and then there was, I guess, some other evidence and people, and they found out that that's exactly what was going on. They planned to overthrow Donald Trump militarily, I guess, use the military to overthrow him. And it probably has something to do with if he doesn't play ball on Ukraine and all. It's really some crazy stuff. Trump is really, he is really, really going out. He's not playing games. Trump's not playing games right now. And a lot of this stuff is really, there's even bloggers and people saying, oh, well, he's just playing. You know how the United States is. They cheat, they lie, they steal, as according to Mike Pompeo. By the way, Trump did not use Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo wanted wanted a position. So did a lot of these other swamp creatures, and Trump didn't give it to them. Instead, he put people like Tulsi Gabbard in, RFK Jr., really honest and decent people in some high positions. It's incredible. Marco Rubio is a little bit questionable. Maybe there's a few more. But I'll tell you what, anybody that's really suspecting Trump of being tricky and all that, I don't think so. I think he's really out for some good stuff now. And I'm not saying that he's going to be doing everything good from now on or anything like that, because different things happen. So, but I don't think that's his objective. So when he fired, I can't remember the guy's name, Brown or something, the general, he took or maybe he asked another general, a 3-star general that had already retired, to take over that spot, who's now the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. In my day, I had met, just not really met, not shaking hands or nothing, but, getting a head nod from a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff when I was working for the general in charge of all the troops in Germany. I was working directly in his office. One day I'll show you some proof or something like that. I got to, finish some renovation, and then I get in the boxes and I'll show you some things. But I got an autographed picture from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, by the way, and so I'll show you that. Also, I even met Ronald Reagan. I got to sit next to him. He didn't talk to me. He's just telling jokes the whole time. But when there's a bunch of people eating dinner, and I just was one of the lucky ones that got to sit next to him. I was only a corporal, so it's not any big shot. Everybody else around, there were security people, and there were some officers. It was a military thing when I was in like I said, an army station at the U.S. headquarters in Heidelberg. Ooh, there's nice ladies there. Okay, let me keep going here. I'm supposed to meet somebody. I'm probably long past due. Oh, by the way, look at this. I'll show you something. A bird pooped on me, and the rest of it got on my arm here. It's supposed to be great luck. So, yeah, I don't know. What'll I have great luck with? I'll need some. Luckily, I haven't been having really bad luck, so that's the best thing. I can accept that too. Okay. Okay. So I guess Trump cleaned house. Lots of generals got fired. I didn't even really know about this. Maybe I heard about it, but nothing's surprising me anymore, and I can't really take note of a lot of these things because the corruption is so vast and the money getting stolen is so much. I don't even know. It's I think what are they talking about? 150 billion that Musk, not that he found, but he's been able to reclaim. I can tell you what, they found a lot more than that. To me, it's beyond any doubt they found at least way over $1 trillion of corruption. So, but they only reclaimed quite a bit of it, and I guess they're kind of right now offering that maybe what they can do is they can give a check to all American households of $5,000. $5,000. Remember George Bush? I think he gave people $400 or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Something about tax thing. It was probably to buy some kind of buy votes or whatever. Okay. Okay. What else? Okay. I'm thinking, that maybe this military thing obviously was a way to try to maybe get rid of Trump a lot earlier. And, they have that other thing they're talking about right now about another sickness from Wuhan, which sounds kind of strange. And I saw that in some official news, but I believe the first one that I saw it with was Alex Jones. And remember old Billy, the software guy? He was talking about, there's going to be another one coming and it's going to be worse. I've said that in another video already, but I couldn't see how they could predict even the first one. But, sounds like they know something that the rest of us don't know, huh? Okay, what else here? Oh, wait a minute. This is new here, I think. I think this was the Moscow Theater. Maybe it was over there. Oh, if that's true, that's terrible. It was a really nice old Soviet theater. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's over this way. Let's keep going and find out. I have to go this way anyway. Okay. Let's see. But anyway, a lot of this stuff that's going on is a lot of these people, you know, that are in support of this, these are eugenics people. Remember, like Klaus Schwab, we have to reduce the world's population. Oh, remember the software guy? Oh, we can reduce. I mentioned that word 15%, and you know, but there's more significance to that, and I can't get into it too much because I think that's one thing. When I mentioned what happened from some whistleblower, and they said something else about 15%, and I think they will take me down if I mention it. I might mention it again, but I have to wait at least 2.5 months or so because if I have one more strike, I'm gone permanently from BoobTube. Okay. Robert Fico. He is actually going to the May 9th victory parade on May 9th, believe it or not. And he was talking about the truth about all this stuff. What did he come out? I don't know. It was something I can't talk about that either, really. Oh, the DOGE by Musk. He wants to look at the books of the Department of Education and the Office of Personnel Management. And there was a judge. Her name is Deborah Boardman. She has blocked it. And she is, of course, a woke judge, probably put in there by Biden, and she's blocked it. And for the moment, anyway. But I wonder if Pam Bondi can be sicked on her. Sick 'em, get 'em, girl. I don't know. Because as far as I know, the Department of Education is supposed to be federal. Maybe that's a federal judge, but this judge was not elected either. But wait a minute, Musk wasn't elected. I don't know how they're doing all this stuff here. Yes, Trump had not Trump. Putin had an interview yesterday, and he was calling Trump rational, and he doesn't want to do anything, no dealings whatsoever with anybody in the European Union, you know. And I think that's even Trump is even the same way. But you know, here he is with Macron, and he was maybe just pleasing Macron, and I think Macron achieved absolutely nothing. So, you know, looking like buddy, and maybe that was all just for appearances. Remember Macron, he was a Rothschild's banker. So a lot of these people were bankers with these people that stole a lot of money from regular people. So what else we have here? Putin said that these people like Macron and Starmer, maybe, you know, their political parties and their groups, they're too deep invested in Ukraine to let go. You know, and this is, of course, like part of the deep state and all these big investment firms and things like that. So, you know, they're resisting letting go, just so you know that. They still want this strategic defeat of Russia. And they've been, if you study history, you see they've been doing this a long, long time. They've been interested in that. Oh, this is the theater. So look at this. Wow, you're seeing this in action. Famous theater. This was the... Oh, I hope they're going to put the sign back up. I hope it's not going to be too modernized, because it was very nice. The old Soviet style, and you can see it was Soviet. But as you see, they're doing it right now in front of your eyes. Yeah. But, you know, Putin is saying they have to start dealing with real issues one day. But as long as it takes, we're going to bring Russia to its knees. You know? But, you know, Zelensky himself, he can talk, he can blame the funny nose powder for everything wrong that he does. You know? So, anything I might have, I still have some stuff to go here. Let's see. A lot of this stuff was just like a little theory stuff, whatever that I was going to say. It's and it really makes you wonder if a lot of these leaders, which includes, by the way, includes in Israel, a lot of these people, they don't mind killing. Trump, he seems to not really like seeing a lot of killing. Very, very unusual, because a lot of these other leaders, you know, they obviously don't care. They don't care at all. Some of them will kill tens of thousands of them. Zelensky, he has nothing against sacrificing literally hundreds of thousands of the young men and sending them to die in the front lines for what? Because they're going to lose anyway. So he keeps it going, and he keeps sending more and more and more. So I don't know. Is he part of the eugenics movement? You can bet that a lot of those people really love him. And you know, you heard Graham saying, well, they're killing Russians. That's great. You know, he's all in for that. But like as Fico had said, they're killing Slavs. They want to kill Slavs. This is the leader of Slovakia. He's the same guy that told us about these medications and what was going on in 2020 and 2021. The same guy that had a lot of bullets put into him and barely lived. That's Fico. Fabulous leader, but he doesn't lead a really, I don't know, prominent country. That is the deal. But just think if he did, you know, he'd at least be like Orban, you know, these people that are trying to tell the truth, and that's why they're punished for it. So, but Fico, I would say maybe he's one of my favorite leaders. At least he's definitely one of my favorite leaders. I don't know, where does Lukashenko has to be in there somewhere too? You know, these people, these are tremendous leaders. I tell you what, I don't know what it's like to be a leader. I don't know how much leverage, you know, the deep state has on all of these people. But even Trump, it looks like, wow. You see these courageous leaders coming out and basically, you know, saying, you're not going to mess with me. You know, go stuff it up your backside. So that's pretty cool. Okay. But Fico, he's just got a little country. And that's probably why they were able to stick a bunch of bullets into him. They're probably still going to try to get rid of him. This is the Galleria, as you see. Like I said, it's a lot of the same firms that you see up in the upper right corner. It says Gippo. Looks like a R. It looks like it says Rhino, but that's Gippo. You know, and they have those in all of the malls normally. Prices are higher. Very, very nice supermarkets, even though the prices are higher. You know, if you're going to get a bag, just a few things, no problem. But, you know, when you end up getting a couple bags of groceries, you might have to add another 30 rubles on. 40, I don't know, 50. I've never done that there, so I don't know. But they have good service, too. If you order food from your apartment, they'll deliver it to you. But certain things you can't get a lot of. Like, we did it one time, and you can get, for example, bottled water, you know, the big bottles of 5 liters. I think you can only get 2 or 3 or something. You know, you can't sit there at home and order 10 of those bottles, because the people have to carry them, especially when you're up on the 4th floor or something like that. Then, you know, the delivery people have to carry it up there. So I guess they don't want to punish them too badly. Yes, what else do we have here? Okay. So much more. Oh, the Polish foreign minister. I don't know if it's the same guy that sent out that tweet when the Nord Stream pipelines were blown up, and he said, "Thank you, USA." And he's married, I think, to a neocon American woman or something. I don't know if it's the same guy. This guy's name is Sikorsky. Foreign Minister Sikorsky. And he was saying that Ukraine is older than Russia, and it's got a longer history and all that sort of stuff. But he's actually wrong. He's actually, what is it called? That's just twisting. That's just twisting the truth. The truth of the matter is, the beginning of Russian history, one of the beginnings, there's Novgorod, and one of them is Kiev, Kievan Rus, you know, and it was part of Russia. And even, you know, there was no country called Ukraine, and that was a region, it wasn't even a region then, a part of Ukraine. But it turned out at some point in time, I think probably after the real you know, Russian Empire was founded maybe in Moscow, but then the Ukraine is called the Ukraine, and what it means in Russia is, in Russian, is the outskirts. And the Ukrainians call themselves the Ukrainians. So they say, we're on the outskirts. On the outskirts of what, by the way? Could it be the outskirts of the Russian Empire? Obviously so. So maybe they, I don't know, what are they going to, when are they going to get around to changing their name? Change it to something, so instead of being called the outskirts. Just saying, just saying. But as you all know, I mean, they go way back into the ancient times. I think Jesus was a Ukrainian, according to them. So yeah, I've written some old history. A lot of stuff. It's just amazing how people can start making up lies and try to get people to believe it. You know, and Bandera, our father, they say, oh, our father, Bandera, the very nice guy. He loved to chop off heads of Jews, and Zelensky's a Jew. So maybe that's why a lot of Jews really hate Zelensky, because he also admires a guy who liked to kill Jews. But no, don't see that. He liked to go after Soviets too. Anybody that's Russian or Soviet, you know, and kill them too. And the brutal murders all over. One of the favorite things they did, and they did it a lot in Belarus, is they put people inside like a barn, normally a barn in a village, and they would put chains around it and make sure they can't get out, and then they would douse it with gasoline and burn them all alive. And if anybody tried to run, they would shoot them, including children. They put the children in the barns too. They put everybody. The whole village is in the barn. And there was one, like I went to Hatain and I even did a video. You can find that. And one guy was at some other village for something, and he came back and everybody was dead and gone and burned. And I think they have a statue of him holding, you know, holding his dead son. And of course, I think mostly it was the Ukrainians, but of course under German leadership at the time, the Nazis, and they actually employed the Ukrainians because I don't think the Germans had the stomach to do the things that the Ukrainians did in Poland and Belarus. They were bloodthirsty and killed a lot of people, killed children, and apparently they liked it. So that's the Banderites. So I shouldn't say Ukrainians, that's actually a mistake. And West Ukraine was on the side of the Soviets, but it was the East Ukraine was on their side. That included Kiev, by the way, but when you go over to the other side, which maybe you can call, which is a true region of Ukraine, and all the rest of it is nothing but a gift from the Soviet Union, which they said was so bad to them, you know, but all the lands that what we called Ukraine was actually the lands were from other countries. It was a mismatch of it all. And they never even bordered the Black Sea, even though they said they dug the Black Sea with their bare hands. I mean, it's all just a bunch of fake history. You guys all know that anyhow. I've mentioned it a lot of times on here. But you see even Poland trying to go along with it. And it makes you wonder if these people, like from other countries, if they even believe that themselves, or they just want to play like they're really, really stupid. I have no idea. You know, it's just amazing. But it looks like Trump is not falling for this. He says, I'm not going to play stupid. That's really amazing. You know? Really amazing. And it's great. And I think that's pretty much all I have. I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff, but I don't know. Anyway, that's most of the information I was going to put out anyway. How long is this video? Oh, it's not too bad. It's like 40 minutes. That's fantastic. Okay. It was good to see you guys all. It was a nice day. I hope the traffic wasn't too loud. But like I said, this is like a central area. A lot of people walk through here, especially a lot of young people, you know. And and I hope that it was enjoyable for you guys. And I'll maybe, when the summer comes, I'll go to some of these areas a lot more often, you know, because I'm sure a lot of you guys like to see these pretty young girls all walking around here. Okay. That's it for right now. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.